I don't know if anyone else gets this way or if it's just me, but usually on and around my birthday, for some reason I get really heavy feeling. And not like bloated, but like it's a heavy feeling. And I typically feel very sensitive, usually a month before my birthday. A lot of it has to do with reviewing like how the past year has gone for me and kind of jotting down different things that I guess were my achievements and different accomplishments and stuff like that. And then usually on my birthday, I feel like that's when the clocks just kind of reset for me. It's sort of like New Year's Day in a way for me. And that's when I start goal setting again. And taking a look at this past year, I would say that my biggest accomplishment was how large of a step I took this year within my music career. I would say that I took probably the biggest step I ever have in my entire time as a musician. Because a lot of that has to do with finally playing my music out live. Now, like, I've played my music live plenty of times, but, like, actually breaking into the scene was something that I really struggled with for pretty much most of my time as a musician, because I've played with, like, cover bands and stuff like that, but I never had the cards work in my favor where I could play with an original band playing original music at actual concert venues before. And that's something that I finally did, so there's definitely a sense of pride and accomplishment within that department for sure. I will say though, it has not been easy. I think that the journey is supposed to be difficult, right? Like if it's easy, then everybody would be doing it. The thing is, like, setbacks and challenges are not new to me. And it's been a recurring theme in my journey as a musician. And I'm sure many of you guys can relate into whatever it is that you're pursuing. If you're pursuing your passions, you've probably stood your fair share of setbacks and challenges and things getting in your way and things not working out in your favor and doors slammed in your face and stuff like that. Like, it happens. People doubt you. People stand in your way. People will, place these obstacles. And, not always is it people. It's just kind of the universe that's almost like, you're not going to get this time. You know what I mean? I remember when I was 7 and I wanted to learn how to play guitar, I remember I joined this after-school guitar class. And I wanted to be like a rock star, right? And this was not the right class for me at all, because they taught classical style guitar, and it's like finger plucking and like, it definitely wasn't up my alley, and I didn't understand the concept of reading sheet music or anything like that, which is what they were trying to teach us. So I just kind of gave up on it, but I knew I still wanted to be a guitarist really, really bad. Like, it was something that I would always envy seeing guitarists up on stage and be like, why can't that be me? And I kept trying for years until I was 11, and that's when I finally was able to start forming up guitar chords, and I could start playing like songs by like AC/DC and Kiss and stuff like that. And the same went for drums too. It took me 2 years from the age of 7 until I was 9 before I finally got my first like 4 on the floor type of drum beat down. But that's the dedication. And even as the years progressed, the whole reason that I began writing songs was because I was getting bullied back in like 5th grade, 6th grade. As a kid, of course, that was like really tough on me. So I found music to be that escape for me. It was like this rush that I had that I could write whatever I wanted to write and nobody could tell me different. And by the time that I joined middle school and high school, I really wanted to form my own band, but where I went to school, there really wasn't a lot of musicians that really kind of had that dedication. And I also felt very ostracized by like the band kids too, because like they could read the sheet music and I couldn't. So like I couldn't even join band and be happy in that either. So Yeah, so finding a band was a total struggle for me, and it was something that I wanted more than anything else in the world. But I didn't get that. I learned how to make lemonade out of lemons then. So by the time that I was around 13 or 14, I started learning how to record my own music. You know, I definitely wasn't recording music the proper way, but that was because nobody was really around to show me so much. My dad was always there to like give me pointers and stuff, but a lot of it was just kind of figuring things out on my own. And by the time I was 15, that's when I released my first album. And once I saw that I could do it, that's kind of what gave me this, even more of this yearning, like a craving. It's always been sort of like chasing this high where I always feel the need to top the last album that I've done. And that's why I really will never go into a recording studio. I won't pay somebody to record me or to mix my songs or anything like that, because all throughout these years I've learned the importance of being self-sufficient in what you do and wearing a lot of hats. And I feel like it's 10 times, 100 times more rewarding to learn a new skill and become better at it as you progress. By the time I got out of college, you know, I was still kind of in the same place as I began. I didn't really have a fan base. I didn't really have anybody that was listening to my music. I had a bunch of albums out and stuff, but nobody was really listening to it. And biggest of all, I really didn't have a band. Now I have my band here. And one of the biggest things that I've learned, especially within this past year, is that it doesn't just stop there. Like, my goals aren't suddenly like that's the end all be all solution, like, oh, I have a band now I feel fulfilled. Otherwise, what you're doing to yourself is you're plateauing. This is probably a terrible analogy, but I just finished watching Breaking Bad for like the 100th time at this point. You know, Walter White doesn't just stop when he has enough money to keep his family secure. That's what gave him a rush. That's what made him feel alive. And you know, obviously I'm not cooking crystal meth here, but my crystal meth is my music, right? I'm cooking, but like in a different way I'm cooking. I also can't believe I just compared myself to Walter White either. I'm literally Heisenberg, guys. My point is don't let your goals just be the end of your journey. Keep moving forward and see how far that you get. And in addition to that, don't let your challenges block you from achieving those goals either. Again, if it was easy, then everybody would be doing it. And I think that whatever it is that you're pursuing yourself, if you can see past those challenges as something to prevent you from doing it, but more so something to strengthen what you're doing, then that means that you have a very special gift in that you can break through any barrier that is placed on you.